What's up, YouTube? This is JParecki95 coming at you live with a very special 1 year special. Alright, so what I want to do here today is pretty much talk about how I started doing what I do on YouTube, the people that have helped me out, the people that have inspired me, and pretty much what you guys can expect from me in year 2. So, a little bit over a year ago today, I put out my Zelda cover. Obviously, you know, of my Pokemon dolls. No, they're not dolls. Action figures. Pokemon action figures. With that, my guitars, my interface, which is pretty much what gave me the quality I didn't have before, as well as Mixcraft 5. Granted, now it's 6, but at the time it was 5, but that's whatever. It was the first cover that I put out. It was in relatively good quality. I mean, I was no longer using my webcam to record, but rather, well, the webcam was recording video, but I wasn't using my webcam to record the audio. So that was a big step forward in audio. At that point I was still very new to the whole process and really had no idea what I was doing. Well, all I knew was I wanted to be like those greats that inspired me. Family Jewels, 7X, CS Guitar 89. Those were the two big names at the time that I knew and really wanted to be like. Granted, there are many other video game musicians that inspire me today, but those were the guys that really pushed me forward. They were the real, driving force behind me stepping up and doing what I do now. And I really want to thank them for doing what they do, because obviously it's awesome, man. I love headbanging to their shit. It's insane. So after my Azalea Town cover was done, I showed my friends. They're like, wow, it's really awesome. And at the time, I thought, wow, this is really great too, Just a kid having fun with his guitar, being able to show off his music to his friends. From there, I thought, what's next? And I believe I didn't put anything out for another month or two, because I was pretty, I'm still quite serious about school, but I really didn't want to give up any time at all back then. So I waited till the next break. I believe it was one of the 2 winter breaks. And then that's when I started working on my Mask DVD cover, which I put together a little too quickly now that I look back upon it. And a lot of you guys have been requesting that I redo it for year 2. So at that time, I still really had no idea what I was doing. I'm not entirely sure if Family Jewel 7X had put up his tutorials yet. I know CS Guitar 89 had it, but I had not checked them out at the time. I really regret doing that because as soon as I watched their videos, I got a lot better, I believe. You can notice a big leap in my improvement, especially around the time of, I believe, my first real good improvement was Dupless. Well, that was a big step up from the other ones. I've improved gradually from there thanks to the help of many people that I will get to. This is not the segment for that, though. So Mass DDD, I was like, the first cover where I implemented distortion on my guitars, so Azalea Town was clean and pretty and then you go to Mass DDD and you're like, so I was like, hell yeah, man, distortion. I'm a big rock metal fan, all that stuff. That's why I do, video game metal, obviously, not video game pop. Though I guess there's some pop rock, but that's different anyway, distraction. Mass DDD, okay. So for a while, I just kept doing my own thing. It's kind of hard to get a lot of fans early on unless you're constantly spamming your stuff, which I did do on a few of Jules' streams. And that's how I met Swiggles 1987, who is quite possibly the biggest bro I know right now. He's so awesome. And I'm so glad that he asked me to collaborate with him, and I'm so glad that he did that, because since then I've just met so many other people, and it's really made me a better musician, I feel. It was just so much fun working with him on our Mute City collaboration, and well, since then it just opened so many doors for me, and I'm so glad that he did that. So thank you. You're such a bro, man. So another issue that plagued me early on with my recordings was my computer. The processor was terrible, so everything would go really slow. When I was recording, things would just really, the computer would heat up, and the tracks would literally freeze on me. Like recordings, I do measures at a time, like literally maybe like 4 bars at a time, and then my computer would suddenly, and it was just a terrible experience because it would shut down on me. I think Teen Titan was the first video that I made using my new computer, which I could finally use without having to keep plugged in all the time, because my green computer was just dying on me. I don't think you could even see it in any of my videos. I was just too embarrassed to even show that. It was broken. It wouldn't even stay up. It would just fall down if you didn't hold it up with, like, I'd have to put it up against the bed or up against the wall over there. Well, you can't see walls over here. But yeah, just terrible. It made everything so hard. Like Azure Blue World, I remember, man, I gotta get this chorus done. It's a really long extended chorus after the solo, and I just really couldn't. I have to like 4 bars at a time. That's why the bass playing was cut off into pieces, not to mention the fact that I was a new bass player. All that together, and you know, I still wish I could go back and do that with my new computer now, but I'm so glad that Sonic Stadium featured that anyway. I mean, thank you to them, that really helped me get a lot of views and subscribers. And I love Sonic music, so it's really fun and great thanks to them. Thank you very much, guys, at Sonic Stadium. But anyway, the new computer is just so much better in terms of speed and helping me be able to record more. I don't even have to pause when I'm recording now. I can just do whole entire rhythm guitar tracks in one take and then just rock out, you know? It's great, because I know I don't have to worry about it shutting down and losing data on me. Like, that Kirby Canvas Curse training song, the whole project file just got deleted because the computer shut down one time. And, well, so it was 1987, he remastered the thing for me. At the time, we didn't even know how the hell to master, so I'm just glad he did that for me. And, I arranged the whole thing, he just remastered it for me, and that was really great. And that was just one of the reasons we became such good friends that we are now. And we've collaborated twice over my first year, and definitely again in the future. That's all I'm gonna say for now, but it will be big. It will be awesome. Insert dick joke here. So a question I get from a lot of my friends is, you know, what inspired you to play video game music on guitar? Well, aside from being a big nerd, and I have a guitar player, I'd like to say, or at least a good guitar player. I've always loved video game soundtracks, and I really wanted to see the gourmet race from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is heavy as hell, played on guitar. So, you know, I looked up Kirby metal guitar. I didn't even know what a cover was at the time. And I found Family Jewel 7X's Kirby medley, and that was like spectacular. It blew me away, man. I never saw anyone do anything, you know, video game related on guitar. I mean, at least not an entire channel dedicated to it. I mean, there are people that did, you know, maybe 1-2 covers and then they stuck to things that would get them views, but he was doing songs like that and just making them rock as hell. And I was like, damn, man, I'm gonna be like that someday. So I didn't really have the money or the material to record at the time. This was, I believe, early junior year, or maybe even sophomore year. This was 1-2 years ago. I'm a senior now in high school. And I was just like, wow, I really want to get like that someday. So I started looking up what I needed to do. Well, first thing was obviously improve the guitar. Because, so I practiced a hell of a lot sophomore year. Just, you know, learned scales, taught myself very tiny bit of theory. I'm learning some more theory now, which is useful, especially in figuring out things. It helps figuring out by ear. If you know the scales, you can figure out more or less positions and whatnot. But that's not what I needed to record. What I needed to record was an interface, or something that could get me the quality of the guitars that Jules got in his videos, as well as the other video game guitarists. So I was like, how did they get such good quality? I mean, does their webcam really let them do that? And you know, after checking the descriptions, I realized they don't really use a webcam. They use a legit camera and a, not microphone. I mean, some of them do mic up their amps. Tulu Sankari does that. But most of them use an interface from Line 6 or a mixer. I know CS Guitar has a mixer, and he plugs in straight from there to his computer, which is awesome. So I saved up money for a while, you know, doing petty jobs, you know, pet sitting, babysitting, balloon animals. I mean, in some of my videos you can see a clown wig in the background on my keyboard. And one of you guys found out that I was a part-time clown. Not afraid to admit it, gotta make money somehow, and it's an honest living. So, saved up money from there, got myself an interface, as, well, Pod Farm came with it, so I can't say I had to buy Pod Farm. And I didn't even realize I had, you know, the full version of Pod Farm until, so it was 1987, once again. If there's any motif in this story, it's that he's awesome. Told me, what are you doing, man? You have the full version, you don't have to use the 2 amps that come with the trial version. So I was like, oh wow, thank you so much. So, once again, being a beginner with the software, I was like, what am I doing? I do not even know. Coming up with tones, and you know, obviously, once again, as I said before, I watched Family Jewel 7X's instruction video on how he gets his tones as well as his guitars, and that really helped me a lot. Because a beginner with Pod Farm, you're just going to mess around with the amps, and that's good. But I mean, there's just so much to mess around with that you can get lost and not even know what you're going to be doing. And I'm just so glad that they put those up. Those are really helpful, and I highly recommend any beginner in, you know, guitar covers or using Pod Farm to check out their videos and learn how to record like they do. Because it'll really help you out a lot, and you really have nothing to lose if you're a beginner. Aside from Swiggle's 1987, I did happen to collaborate with one other musician throughout the first year I had on YouTube. Maximum Hamburgers, and man, it was amazing collaborating with him. This guy's a beast on drums. The double kicks. What a crazy drummer, man. It's great. It was awesome working with him. And I was a butt and didn't let him play guitar. Well, it's not that I didn't let him play guitar. We just didn't organize the whole thing. And I happened to have, you know, the whole rhythm guitar track set up, beat guitar done already. And if I hadn't done that earlier, I totally would have let him play bass, because I still felt like I wasn't too good at bass, and he probably could have come up with a way cooler part than I did. But I'm so glad I worked with him, because his drums totally rocked my mind on Twinkle Park. So for year 2, I will be working with a ton of musicians. I already am way in over my head with collabs, but they will be amazing. I can promise you that. Wink, 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 snap, snap, wink. They will be a lot of fun, man. I'm doing, well, as I do mostly songs from video game soundtracks, but I do have a few songs, like maybe 1 or 2 from anime soundtracks that I do want to do, and I can promise you, I'm working with a singer. That's crazy. What can I say? I never thought I'd be doing that. Let's see. I don't want to tell you too much because I really don't want to give away, but I have some sound samples that I'll be putting at the end of the video if you guys want to listen and get a little hint of what will be coming in YouTube. Or you can always check my SoundCloud. I always post things there. And, you know, if you don't want to see hints, you don't have to click them. I'm not going to ruin any secrets for you guys. Not that I keep secrets. I'm open like that door over there. Anyway, year 2, lots of cool musicians. Oh, I'm a squirrel. Lots of cool songs with many talented musicians. And that is year 2 in a nutshell. And hopefully you guys like the Legend of Zelda medley that I've started year 2 off with. I've been meaning to do that for well over 2 years at this point. I just didn't have the materials to record it at the time when I wanted to. And, you know, obviously a lot of those riffs are pretty tough, so I had to practice them for a long time. And I think I got them down pretty well, at least for the recording. And, you know, I was headbanging along the whole time because it was just such a fun thing to play. And the arrangement, I just love that arrangement. I mean, there's a link to the tabs for it and the person that arranged it, because I believe what the story behind it is that they didn't have the materials to arrange it, so... no, not to arrange it, they arranged it. They didn't have the materials to record it, or they couldn't play it. They weren't at the right skill level to play it, so they wanted someone else to play it and record it for them. And there was one other recording of that arrangement on YouTube. It really wasn't the best. I mean, it was, I don't want to say, I don't want to bash anyone in this video, but it just wasn't the best recording, so I thought, you know, why not one-up that and kick off year 2 with a real bang, you know, a medley. I hadn't done a medley by myself. Swiggles 1987, he loved doing, you know, little 2-song medleys, which are really cool, and I thought, why not do that with the Overworld and Underworld, and I already happened to have that arrangement, so all I had to do was plug in, record, and just jam the hell out. Really fun doing that, and well, if you couldn't tell, man, I was headbanging the whole time, so it was great. So that's pretty much what you guys can expect in year 2. I don't want to use names because, you know, once again, that kind of kills the surprise, and I don't want anyone to say, oh, you forgot me, even though, because I don't know, there's just so many names of so many amazing musicians, and I'll probably have a list in the description. It'll be a long list because, once again, too many amazing musicians just to list right now. But year 2 will be awesome, I can promise you guys that. Thank you guys so much for doing what you guys do, supporting me, because without you guys and your amazing comments, I don't know where I'd get the motivation from, other than, well, the internal motivation to keep doing these videos. I mean, you guys are just awesome, always pushing me forward. Super duper shout out to Kevin Michael Griffin from over at 3 Chord Dorks. He does the comics over there, and the comics are great, hilarious, and you learn a lot about music from him because he has so many band recommendations. But more than that, he wasn't afraid to, you know, take a dump on my videos when he had to, and that's what really helped me improve, because a lot of the people that I'm friends with as musicians, we're not really, you know, in a sense, we tend to hold back when we say things that we need to improve on. But Kevin, he's just like, you know, fix this, this is what got to be done, and I was like, thank you so much, man, because I really felt like I needed someone to tell me exactly what was wrong. Well, not wrong, because, you know, music, nothing's really wrong, technically speaking, but things that needed to be improved. And, you know, it's the reason I got my kick drum louder, hi-hats a bit lower in the mix, things like that, that I feel really helped me improve, and I would not be where I am now were it not for him. So thank you, Kevin, you're really great. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, man. And keep drawing those comics, because really, they make me laugh my ass off every day. Great work, man. Thank you. Here's to a wonderful year 2, guys. Alright, one last thing Squirrel and I would like to leave you with. I will not be taking a break before I start videos for year 2. because I didn't really keep up a regular schedule of, weekly videos for my first year. So, one video every 2 Sundays. I might try doing something cool where I upload maybe original music that I've had for a while, so I can get maybe 3 uploads a month. If you guys like that, just, let me know. Hit me up on my Facebook page, or just send me a personal message. Any of that stuff, it's all cream and sugar, mates. So peace out, Girl Scouts. Here's to an awesome year too. Yay.